An update has gone live for Overwatch today. The previous experimental changes from last week have gone through. I won't do a full recap of the changes here. You can find that by clicking on the top right of the screen or finding the link in the description of this video. As a quick summary, every change made in the experimental card, barring the changes for Pharah as they introduced some bugs, have gone through. What I'm covering in this video is Blizzard's recent developer update from Jeff Kaplan. In the update they announced the recent Symmetra challenge and some new functionality for the replay viewer, which is nice and exciting, but what I really want to discuss is the up and coming changes to matchmaking that were announced. Basically, there will be a new flex queue feature, which basically allows you to queue for every role. It's the same as selecting every role in ranked right now. For playing flex games, you get a priority pass. This is a shorter queue for whatever role you want. So if you've ever experienced a game where you had a lever and got a priority re-queue, it's just like that. On top of this, if you win the games that you queue as a flex player, you earn much more priority passes. In the developer update, it was actually stated you can hold up to 40 at once, but this might change. Now, obviously this is a band-aid solution, kind of like the 2-2-2 role lock. Now, if you've played ranked, you know that the most likely queue you're going to get if you queue for every role is tank. For a good amount of the time, there's no shortage of DPS or support players queuing in ranked. So one of the benefits, obviously, is even if you don't like playing tank, there'll be a silver lining now, no matter what. Things like a priority pass system and even the 2-2-2 role lock may become less needed when Overwatch 2 comes out with a bunch of new content and heroes. This is in the sense that queue times may just sort themselves out if there are more fun tanks and supports. The silver lining to playing tank should just be playing tank. So after testing, if Blizzard decides to keep this system, it's great for new players who'll come with Overwatch 2 as well. You'll stack up rewards for trying out all these new characters and learning the game, and then when you want to specialize in something, you'll have a stack of priority queues in your pocket. What I'm hoping is that the desired outcome is that it just makes queuing faster for everyone, obviously. If more people queue for every role, every game will be faster. But in the same light, because you're allowing everyone to hijack the system with their own sort of VIP pass, it will offset this effect. My guess is that Blizzard's already crunched the numbers and there's going to be a mild to moderate improvement for everyone for queue times. I think for the design of the game on the whole right now, it's good because Blizzard's also shown recently that they're willing to test things and change their mind and revert it. They did this with the weekly ban system and the recent Brig buff that I talked about in one of my previous videos and so on. They're showing that they're trying to find what's good for the game and makes it work, so that's good. So if it works, they'll keep it. If it sucks, they'll probably get rid of it. The issue is if it does suck. Matchmaking is a core point of contention for a lot of people, so I'm hoping Blizzard just keep trying stuff out and rolling it back if it doesn't work. But I'm fearful that they might be as cautious as they have been in the past with things like this. In my opinion, Blizzard still has a lot of ground to cover in terms of finding what works for all the systems of the game, and they've only really started that this year. The game's been out for over 4. Obviously, there's a worst case scenario outcome of this is that people just try to game the system, so it looks like Blizzard's trying to curb the fact that people will queue for games and just throw so they can get a priority queue by offering more passes if you win. I'm still skeptical because there will be people out there who have half-hour long queues for games on DPS, and their support and tank SR is different from their DPS SR, so they don't really care if they throw a game or not. It's also hard to say how DPS queues will look if you don't have a pass. There will be more people playing tank, but there are also going to be more people with priority queues queuing for DPS. And there are going to be tank and support players now who find DPS queues more attractive because they get a priority pass for existing. Yes, you have to flex queue, but there's a fat chance that you'll have a result in the DPS game by doing that. In terms of what this all means for the game on the whole, no one really wants a band-aid solution. Clearly the real solution here is to just make playing tank more rewarding and not paying you to play tank. That said, big overhauls probably aren't coming until the next game. I think for Overwatch, it's necessary that the game's implementing more complex systems like this. The game's in need of an increase in structural fidelity. It's simply way more complicated than the shiny Disney movie it makes itself out to be. The game's just about shiny and interesting characters and not explicitly about positioning, pathing, cooldown management, etc, etc. But that's what you need to learn to get better at the game. And the game doesn't teach you this. Something I'm planning to address in an upcoming video is that people need more tools to engage with the game. The design of Overwatch, or more Overwatch 2, needs to encourage understanding the game and the strategy around playing it. A beneficial side effect of the system in this patch is that players will be rewarded and think more positively about learning and trying to win on other roles. It's not just important that players have the tools to learn, but it's also important that players want to learn. Collecting up to 40 passes is good so you get used to your other roles and not just do a one and done sort of thing. The design around upskilling your player base needs to be both direct and subliminal. There are reasons why there's such a disconnect in the community between high and low ranks about things like balancing Brigitte. Take the recent 25 health buff and then nerf. In high ranks she became busted and broken, and in low ranks no one noticed and pretty much just lashed onto the fact that afterwards she just got another nerf again and she's going to be useless forever. People need better access to proper strategy and how to play the game well, and I strongly believe that that can come straight through the game, and that's what I'll be talking about in one of my future videos. So thanks so much if you made it to the end. I hope you enjoy sort of discussion like this, because I do a lot and I'll be doing some more of it. So stay tuned for that. If you enjoyed this, please like or subscribe. It really helps me out and it's good feedback to know what you guys are enjoying, because that just comes back around and helps me improve my content. So thanks for watching and I'll see you soon.